Hi there, I'm Michelle the Painter. Today I'm going to be painting Zebra. This is part of my exclusive series that I have available for you Patreon members that I am calling Pour to Paint, where I take an acrylic pour and I turn it into something more by painting on top of it. So I thought that this would be a fun color palette to use, so I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so for my materials today, in this first of a two-part process, I'm doing pour to paint today, and so we're going to be doing a fun acrylic pour, and then we'll come back after it's dried and paint over it for a finished product. So my materials today, I'm going to be working on a stretched and primed 12-inch by 12-inch canvas. I also am I'm using acrylic paint with my my medium today. So for my acrylic pour, I use a thin-bodied student-grade paint from Acrylics. I usually mix it about 50% with the paint and Floetrol fluid medium. So I have titanium white, fire red, a metallic silver, burnt umber, Mars black, and then I made a light teal color using cobalt blue, phthalo green, and white. And my unexpected tool today, I can't pick up and show you, so you have to look down at my table here, is a Lazy Susan. And if you look closely, it's actually a poured thing that my husband made many years ago, so I have it protected, but it's going to be our spin art tool today, our fluid spin art. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to start applying paint in whatever way that I want. So I'm going to start with this brown and maybe just kind of put that in a big old X down the middle. Then we're going to put some white on here. And whenever you're doing acrylic pouring, or this abstract fun, let's just make some art kind of project, just let loose. Don't worry about it looking any specific way. If you're thinking abstract art, as I am, abstract art is intended to have kind of no intentions as you go in. I of course have my color palette all laid out, but as far as placement on the canvas for the colors, it's all just kind of whatever I'm feeling at that moment whilst painting, or whilst pouring, I should say. And then maybe I will put some red on this side and maybe like in through here. And then I think I'm gonna just put a couple of dots of white in through here, and then I have my black, so I don't want to overwhelm it with black today, so I'm just gonna maybe put a couple spots. I love my black though, but I think that looks pretty cool. All right, so now on to spinning. So I'm just gonna kind of take this and spin it as fast as I can. We've got in the studio, making sure nobody gets hit with this. So, oh no, this is gonna fall. So I've got it on a riser, so let me take these little risers off so I can spin it a little bit faster, because it's not really doing a whole heck of a lot here. Let me get these off of my table too, so I can spin it a little bit faster. So we got a little intermission here. I'm pulling these off, because you gotta get it to go pretty fast is the whole trick to spin art. So once I've got that, all right, maybe now I can get it to go a little bit faster, maybe. Okay, well this is never working out totally as I had planned. I thought I was going to be able to spin this faster. Oh, maybe? Nope. So we're just going to kind of, spin it ourselves. So I'm going to just kind of tap it. This looks pretty cool. My surface, I could have probably used that. And look I've lost my red, I've lost my black. Where did they go? They spun right off of my painting. Okay, well we're gonna call that an experiment, and I actually kind of like what has happened here. Even though I wanted some red in there, I'm digging what colors I kind of have left, so I'm gonna call it. So spin art not so successful on a Lazy Susan. But we'll definitely use this and make it into a final piece by painting over it. So all we got left to do is dry it. All right, so we are on to part 2 of the pour to paint project here. As my canvas is now fully dried and I have observed